Hey friends, welcome back to Serene Quest, your cozy corner of the internet where games feel like warm blankets and gentle adventures. Today, I'm so excited to share my top 5 cozy games of 2025. 5 little gems that absolutely filled my year with joy, peace, and just the right sprinkle of whimsy. Whether you love potion brewing, slow-paced mysteries, or farming in golden fields, there's something here for everyone. So grab a snack, settle in, and let's dive into the comfiest games this year has had to offer so far.
I could already tell based on her face that the receptionist was a tough one.
Let's start this list with the most suspiciously adorable game I've played all year. Duck Detective. Yes, that's right. This game stars a duck in a trench coat, solving crimes. And I am absolutely obsessed. Now, if you're thinking, surely this can't be serious, you're half right. Because Duck Detective walks that perfect quacking tightrope between silly and sincere. You play as a slightly down-on-his-luck detective with an eye for detail and a taste for toast. The series began with Duck Detective: The Secret Salami and waddled its way right into Duck Detective: The Ghost of Glamping. Both are cozy little mysteries you can wrap up in an evening like a warm blanket, and a mystery novel had a baby with feathers. You're not just along for the ride either. You're doing actual detective work. Connecting clues, piecing together dialogue, scribbling in your notebook like the world's tiniest noir protagonist. The interface is simple, but clever. You read between the lines of conversation, catch contradictions, and slowly fill out character profiles like the master sleuth you were born to be, even if you're a little waterfowl with a caffeine addiction and some very dramatic inner monologues. And can we talk about the humor? Oh my goodness! It's absolutely packed with puns, suspicious salami, criminal capybaras, dramatic lighting on sandwich-related crimes. But it's never overdone or try hard. It's subtle, sharp, and always perfectly timed. The writing sparkles like dew on a duck's back, charming, just a little self-aware, and packed with character in every single quack. Visually, it's a total treat. The hand-drawn style has these thick, bold outlines and muted storybook colors that feel like you've stepped into a cozy little indie film. The environments are small but thoughtfully detailed. You can almost smell the salami or hear the faint crinkle of paper as you flip through your detective notes. And oh, the soundtrack. Gentle jazz melodies, cozy ambiance, the occasional squawk. It's the kind of soundscape that makes you want to grab a mug of tea and hunker down with a blanket while you interrogate a suspicious crock about salami. What really stands out, though, is how low pressure it is. Duck Detective never tries to trick you or punish you. It's not here to give you a 1,000-piece logic puzzle. It just wants to take you by your feathered hand and lead you through a genuinely delightful story, one that's as wholesome as it is witty. So, if you've ever wanted to solve a mystery without the looming doom of a gritty drama, and instead bask in the gentle absurdity of sandwich thefts, petty office squabbles, and heartwarming whodunits, Duck Detective is your game. It's short, sweet, and suspicious in the cutest possible way. And hey, you even get to say quack out loud. What's not to love? We're diving into one of the most hands-on, tinkery, delightfully immersive cozy games I've ever played, Potion Craft. Okay, imagine this. You live in a little stone cottage on the edge of town. The windows creak open to the sound of birdsong. Your shelves are overflowing with dried herbs and strange roots, and every morning you light a little fire under your cauldron and get to work helping the locals. Welcome to your new life as the town's softest, most stylish medieval apothecary. And the best part? You don't just click a button and poof, out pops a potion. Oh no, this game is all about the process. You hand-select ingredients from your rustic little shelf, grind them lovingly in your mortar and pestle, waft in their earthy aroma, and drop them one by one into a bubbling brew. Then you stir, slowly, thoughtfully, watching the potion's path unfold like a treasure map across the alchemy grid. Sometimes you blow on the coals, heating your creation to perfection, all while soaking in the soft crackle of the fire. It's rhythmic, it's thoughtful, It's basically magical cottagecore chemistry. The whole game is wrapped in this stunning hand-drawn medieval aesthetic, like it was lovingly pulled out of an ancient apothecary's grimoire. Everything looks like it's inked on parchment, with curling vines, faded sepia tones, and cozy little illustrations that make your whole screen feel like the warmest page of a fairy tale. If you've ever wanted to be a medieval potion master with aesthetic, this game gets it absolutely right. Gameplay-wise, you're running your very own potion shop. Townsfolk wander in throughout the day, some cheerful, some worried, some a little shady, and you get to help them with their quirky little problems. A sleepy farmer might need help getting rid of invasive mushrooms. A noblewoman might want a love potion. Totally not suspicious. And sometimes a knight storms in asking for something explosive for reasons you'd rather not ask about. You'll listen, problem solve, and mix up the perfect custom brew. Or not so perfect. And that's part of the fun. What's really adorable is the freedom you get. Want to be a sweet village herbalist who carefully selects every ingredient and never overcharges a single coin? That's lovely. Or maybe you want to be a chaotic little goblin of a shopkeeper who stirs mystery root into everything and sells suspiciously smoky concoctions for 300 gold a pop? Also valid. The game never judges you. It just gives you the tools, the tea, and the tiny cauldron and lets you follow your apothecary heart. And the vibes, oh my gosh. The soft background lute music feels like something you'd hear at a medieval market while sipping honey mead. The gentle bubbling of the cauldron, the clink of glass bottles, the whisper of turning pages. It's an ASMR daydream. It's the kind of game where you lose time because you're so deeply in the zone, gently perfecting your potion of lightning and wondering if you should add a touch of firebell or maybe a sprinkle of windbloom. If you're the type of cozy gamer who loves intentional tactile gameplay, the kind where you feel each motion and get to make small, satisfying choices, Potioncraft is basically your new happy place. It's peaceful, it's playful, and it'll absolutely charm your socks off, especially if those socks are striped and medieval. Seriously, if you've ever wanted to run a witchy little potion shop where the biggest drama is deciding if your next brew should sparkle or fizz, this is your moment. All right, cuties, get ready to pack your biggest satchel because we're sailing off to a magical island where you get to choose your destiny. Welcome to Fantasy Life I, the girl who steals time. This game is like if Animal Crossing, Rune Factory, and a fairy tale storybook had a magical baby. And oh, is it cute! Fantasy Life lets you live, well, a fantasy life. You arrive on a mysterious island that's brimming with charm, secrets, and sparkly potential. And right from the get-go, you get to choose your life, which is basically your class or profession, but way more whimsical. Want to be a paladin and bonk baddies with a big ol' sword? Go for it. Feel more like a tailor making the finest pastel capes in the land? Done. Or maybe you want to bake sweet treats, catch butterflies, mine glittery ore, cast spells, or do all of the above? Because guess what? You totally can. There are 12 lives to master, and the game encourages you to switch it up. No pressure, no penalties, just pure, delightful experimentation. And every life comes with its own adorable mini-games and leveling system that make even the tiniest tasks feel rewarding. You're not just crafting or battling, you're thriving in your own unique way, with sparkles, sound effects, and wholesome animations cheering you on. But wait, there's more. This isn't just about daily tasks and cozy chores. There's also an actual story, complete with time travel. Yup, you'll get to explore the island in both the present and the past, uncovering ancient mysteries, building your town up from ruins, and getting to know villagers from both eras. It adds this fun, magical twist that makes everything feel just a little bit extra. One moment you're gathering herbs, the next you're unraveling ancient secrets through space-time with a loaf of bread in your pocket. Iconic, truly. The island itself is a dream. Lush forests, sparkly caves, breezy beaches, and starlit skies that make you want to stay up late just to see what glows at night. And don't even get me started on the music. It's like a lullaby from a sleepy cloud. Every track feels like it was made to go with tea, a blanket, and a candle flickering on your desk. But the best part? It never rushes you. This game is all about doing things your way. Want to focus on building the cutest little cottage village and becoming besties with every squirrel and grandma in town? Please do. Want to master every life and become a crafting, combat fishing, cooking goddess? Also, yes, there's no wrong way to play, only your way. So if you're a cozy gamer who loves a big world full of soft surprises, sparkly freedom, and whimsical wonder, Fantasy Life I, the girl who steals time, is like a warm hug wrapped in fun and possibility. Okay, real talk? Fantasy Life I, the girl who steals time, gives me the same exact feeling I had when I first fell in love with Dragon Quest Builders 2, one of my all-time favorite cozy games. There's just something magical about a world that hands you a tool belt and says, go ahead, make this yours. In DQ Builders 2, I loved the sense of freedom, the way the world felt alive and welcoming, and how every little improvement I made, whether it was planting a garden or building a silly little bathhouse, actually mattered. Fantasy Life does that too, but instead of placing blocks, you're placing yourself in a life you love, learning little by little how to fish, cook, mine, sew, and even battle. And just like in Builders 2, every role you take on helps your island thrive. But where Builders was all about building a village up from ruins, Fantasy Life takes it further. It lets you rebuild through time. That dreamy time travel twist adds a layer of mystery and magic that scratches the same creative itch, while still giving me those cozy, serotonin-filled daily tasks that I adore. You're still growing, still helping, still shaping a world, but now with a sparkly touch of destiny and a whole lot of cute. It's the same spirit of slowly make things better, one cozy task at a time, that makes both games feel like home. And that's what I love. So if you're like me, and Dragon Quest Builders 2 stole your heart with its soft sense of purpose and whimsical charm, trust me, Fantasy Life is going to feel like your next comfort game.
Hey, partner. So, you're finally taking the leap. Heading out west to carve out a better life. Let me tell you, it ain't all sunshine and clear skies. You see, untamed lands need time to bear fruit, and some neighbors may take longer to warm up. But there's something that makes it worthwhile. A chance at freedom you won't find anywhere else. If you keep your days busy and your heart open, you'll discover a peace, pride, and companionship that city folks can only dream of. Shoot. Just thinking on it brings back all sorts of memories. Yep, I reckon you'll do just fine. Take care out there. Your pal back home.
All right, friends, saddle up your pixel ponies and get ready to ride into one of the warmest, coziest little corners of the gaming world, Cattle Country. If you've ever dreamed of tending to your own rustic ranch, raising animals with care, planting rows of crops under big prairie skies, and getting lost in the quiet rhythm of country life, then this game is about to lasso your heart. At first glance, Cattle Country might remind you of Stardew Valley, and for good reason. It shares that same pixel art charm with beautifully crafted environments that feel both nostalgic and alive. But Cattle Country sets itself apart with a unique frontier flair. The color palette is warm and sun-washed, like a golden hour glow captured in pixels. Every sunset feels like a hug. Every fence post and wagon wheel looks hand-placed with love. And the little townsfolk you meet along the way each have their own quirks, routines, and stories to tell. Now let's talk gameplay. This isn't just a farm sim, it's a true ranching sim, and that tiny distinction makes a big difference. While you can absolutely plant crops, water them lovingly, and watch them grow, the real heart of Cattle Country lies in your bond with the animals. You'll raise cows, tend to chickens, manage pastures, and care for your herd like they're part of your family. It's not just about profit, it's about connection. You feed them, clean their stalls, and watch them grow over time in a way that feels personal and fulfilling. There's something incredibly grounding about building a routine around real, living creatures who rely on you. But this game isn't all sunshine and soft hay. Cattle Country also features a mine system that's anything but ordinary. These mines are layered and mysterious, with unique mechanics and handcrafted environments that keep exploration feeling fresh. There's depth here, both literally and figuratively, and just enough challenge to make you feel clever and curious without pulling you out of the game's gentle rhythm. Mining becomes an adventure, a place to break up your farming days with just a hint of daring. And the art? Oh, friends, the pixel art here is chef's kiss. From the gentle sway of wheat fields to the glint of sunlight on a weathered barn, every detail oozes care. It's simple but expressive, the kind of style that gives room for your imagination to roam. The character sprites are delightfully expressive. The animals are downright adorable. And the world feels like something out of a prairie fairy tale. Now let's talk music and atmosphere, because Cattle Country absolutely nails the cozy vibes. The soundtrack is all soft acoustic strums, lazy harmonicas, and gentle piano melodies that drift like a breeze through tall grass. It sets the tone perfectly for a slow-paced, comforting experience. Whether you're walking through the general store, herding cattle back to the barn, or just sitting on your porch watching the stars, the audio wraps you in the feeling of a quiet country evening. And of course, just like in Stardew Valley, the townsfolk here are more than just background noise. They feel like real neighbors, people with backstories, routines, and even drama. Building relationships with them adds even more heart to your days. You'll come to care about them, root for them, and maybe even find a little romance blooming under the prairie skies. To me, Cattle Country feels like what you'd get if Stardew Valley and Red Dead Redemption 2 had a baby. It's got that addictive loop of productivity and progress, but it's mixed with a real focus on setting, character, and storytelling. Everything feels slower here, in a good way. You're not rushing to get everything done. You're enjoying the process, listening to the cicadas, and watching the seasons roll gently by. So if you're in the mood for a cozy life sim that gives you wide open skies, pixel-perfect charm, animals to love, crops to grow, and mines to explore, all without stress, then Cattle Country is calling your name. Dust off your boots, pour a warm drink, and settle in. You've got a ranch to run, and it's going to be adorable. If you've ever wanted to run away to a sun-drenched island filled with charming villagers, daily routines, and a touch of magic, then Luma Island is about to steal your heart in the gentlest way possible. The first thing that struck me about Luma Island is how cozy and alive the world feels. It's all rendered in bright, colorful pixel art that feels like a love letter to classic life sims, but with a modern, polished twist. Everything has this warm, welcoming glow to it. The swaying trees, the soft tide at the beach, the little twinkle in the villagers' eyes. It's like waking up in your favorite daydream. What really makes Luma Island special, though, is how thoughtfully paced it is. You don't feel rushed. You don't feel overwhelmed. You wake up, tend your crops, maybe fish a little, chat with your neighbors, and explore at your own rhythm. There's always something new just around the corner, whether that's uncovering an island mystery or unlocking a new tool that opens up more of the world. One of my favorite parts? The villager interactions. Everyone you meet has a distinct personality and charm. Some are sweet, some are grumpy, and some are delightfully weird. You get to know them over time, and each new interaction feels like adding another stitch to a very soft, very wholesome quilt. There's a big focus on community and connection, and I absolutely adore that. In a lot of ways, Luma Island reminds me of early days in Stardew Valley or Fantasy Life, where every discovery feels magical and personal, but it's got its own unique rhythm, its own aesthetic, and its own cozy heart. It doesn't try to reinvent the genre, it just perfects the mood. It's also worth mentioning how satisfying the farming and crafting systems are. They're simple to learn, but have just enough depth to keep things interesting. And the inventory system? Mwah, chef's kiss. So clean, so organized, so soothing. You know I love a good storage solution. If you're someone who enjoys gentle progress, meaningful relationships, and an island that feels like it was made just for you, Luma Island is a must-play. It's the kind of game that invites you to breathe a little deeper, smile a little more, and fall in love with your virtual life, one cozy day at a time. But don't let the soft skies and sweet shopfronts fool you. Luma Island has a thrilling little spark of adventure nestled beneath all the cozy charm. When you're not farming, fishing, or chatting with the locals, you can dive into the game's glowingly magical dungeon system. which is honestly one of my favorite surprises. These dungeons are more than just places to swing a sword. They're full of twinkling crystals, hidden passageways, puzzle doors, and adorable but ferocious critters who are just begging to be bonked with your favorite weapon. The combat can be challenging, but is still super approachable, which I love. You don't need lightning-fast reflexes, just a good sense of timing and a little courage. Whether you're rolling through mushroom-filled caverns or battling bouncy blob monsters in torchlit ruins, each fight feels fun without ever being overwhelming. And let's talk about the gear. You'll discover new weapons and accessories that give just the right amount of RPG flavor. Maybe a faster sword for zipping around, or a magical trinket that boosts your loot. It's just enough depth to make you feel clever without needing a strategy guide. Even better, each dungeon has its own personality, with new mechanics and environmental themes to keep things fresh. One might have traps and tricky levers, while another is covered in glowing vines and hidden treasure rooms. It always feels like an adventure, but never too stressful. Honestly, the dungeons are the perfect little sprinkle of thrill on top of Luma Island's warm slice of life pie. And every time I finish one, I can't wait to go back in. And that's a wrap on my top 5 cozy games of 2025. From suspicious ducks and dreamy potion shops to pixelated pastures and magical islands, this year has been such a treat for soft-hearted adventurers like us. Whether you're building, brewing, befriending, or just vibing with your villagers, I hope these games bring a little more warmth and whimsy to your screen. If you found a new favorite or if one of these games already has your heart, let me know in the comments. I'd love to hear what cozy world you've been getting lost in lately. And if you enjoyed this comfy countdown, don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit that little bell so you don't miss any more gentle gaming goodness from Serene Quest. Until next time, friends, stay soft, stay curious, and remember to take breaks, drink water, and save your game. Bye for now.